This is Zach Crockford's cast blog for 2010, the 4th of January. Um, this is my first blog on the newspaper activity that I'm doing with the Barnstable Enterprise. My adult supervisor is Laura Reckford. She's an editor at the Enterprise. She's got some experience, and she's helping me out a little bit with learning some ropes. I'm just trying to get a little experience because I think that this might be something I'm interested in. Certainly liberal arts, that's the stuff I like. So I just wanted a little taste of what it might be like to write for a newspaper. I'm working on my first story right now. She asked me to write a profile piece, 500 words, on someone who is passionate about something. And actually, I'm writing it about Mary Colaccio, who is the president of the curling club, where I'm doing another one of my cast projects. So I sent Mary a list of questions as an interview a while ago, and she didn't actually email me back for several days. So I ended up getting her interview the morning of my deadline for that piece. So I wrote that piece during the day when I had time. So that ties into my first learning objective, which is increase awareness of your own strength and areas for growth. Certainly one of my strengths is that I can do things on the fly like that. I mean, I wrote that whole thing within a 5-hour span while I was at school. So I know that under pressure, if I have to pump something out like that, I can. But I'd rather not. And I also learned that I need to get rolling on stuff because I didn't send that stuff to Mary and give her enough time to get back to me. And I always need to count. I mean, I can't count on people getting done expediently what I need them to get done. I have to give them more time so that they can mess around with it a little. Right now, I'm doing my first revision. I sent Mary follow-up questions. I sent them to her a week and a half early, so she can take all the time she wants. And I think that's an improvement on that. And then I'm going to rewrite this for Laura. Laura Reckford, she's my editor. And she said it might run in the Falmouth part of the paper. So that's cool. She's given me some pointers on that. We went out every Friday. I go down there for a couple hours. We went out to look at a homeless awareness thing that they were doing down at the church a couple nights ago, where people slept outside in tents. That actually ties into, this isn't one of my outcomes, but issues of global importance popped up there because homelessness is something that happens everywhere. Here we are in Cape Cod, in America, one of the most affluent places in the world, and you think there's still people living on the streets in the middle of January who could easily freeze to death. There's no way around it. We had a snowstorm and 3 people died because they're living outside and it's freezing outside. And it's a real eye opener, and for a lot of people, they don't realize that. And I think going down there opened my eyes to that. I think that's one good thing about this internship, that I'm gonna be able to see stuff like that a little bit more. My second objective is working collaboratively with others, and that has to do a lot with my editor, Laura Reckford. Well, obviously, and sending things off earlier, that ties in there too, giving other people ample time so that I don't have to rely on them to get things done in a timely fashion. Working with other people, though, with Laura, I have to accept that she knows what she's doing, and that she's been doing this for a very long time, and she's very good at it, and that I just need to soak up whatever she's willing to give me on it. And sometimes I have a hard time with that, especially with my teachers. I tend to question everything. I tend to want to know why and how. Are you sure that's the best way to do this? And it can be a little bit of a pest. And I have to understand that I have to step that down because she isn't even one of my teachers. She's just trying to do her job. And she's really doing me a favor by letting me tag along and giving me pointers. So I have to work on just sort of being her shadow and soaking up whatever I can. Alright, so this is Zach Crockford's cast blog for 1/4/10 on the newspaper.